Hello YouTube, this is Bowtied Media, and today I have a review of Tchami's Born Again / Buenos Aires. I normally take this first moment of the video and talk about the past releases of the artist, but Tchami just has so much stuff that's all over the place that I can't really nail down. There's a ton of EPs, there's tour albums, and there's just a ton of double-sided singles, regular singles, stuff that's all over everywhere, Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud, tons of remixes, just all over the place. Tchami has been all over the place in the EDM industry in the past couple years and has been pretty much a staple name, creating some songs for a lot of movie soundtracks, big budget productions, and just created some pretty solid tracks. Tchami is known for his deep house, clubhouse, or I guess future house style of music that is more bass driven and specifically made for the club scene. I'd never picked Tchami as a necessarily creative artist, and obviously everyone's creative in their own sense, but the idea that he sticks very primarily to his niche and what he does in the, deep house genre, and he doesn't stray away from much of that, if any at all. But at first glance, this EP looks like a double-sided single. It's called Born Again / Buenos Aires, and you'd assume that that would be a double-sided single, 2 tracks, but it's not. It's a 4-track EP, and it's kind of a strange naming and a strange title, and the album art doesn't really go along with it, and I'm not sure if this is for some greater plan or what it is, but it's a little strange. The first track, Born Again, is exactly what I would have expected from Tchami. And coming in, I was like, okay, yep, listening to this, yep, this is exactly what I expected. The idea that it's this deep house club mix, like I've said before, that has minimal vocals, and if they're not super coherent the entire time, but it goes hard and it goes deep, and it's just a fun club mix. Other than that, you wouldn't really play it in any other setting. In terms of a deep house club song, I actually quite enjoyed it, and it served its purpose there quite well. When the second track, Buenos Aires, started, I assumed it was going to be pretty much the same, and it was going to be this almost copy-paste drop and the same thing as Born Again. But it was not, and I actually really enjoyed the song, so much so that it's my favorite track of the project. Buenos Aires has this really nice, old-school, almost disco vocal sample chop thing. It's definitely vocals that are pitched in a different way, but I really enjoy it, and it's really funky, and it even obviously comes back to the deep house and is deep house, but it's a really fun track. It's got a lot more energy to it than some of these songs don't, and I guess a higher pitched energy, where the deep house driven genre does have a lot of energy in the low sense, but it's not quite as high. It doesn't feel almost uplifting, and this song feels that. And halfway through, there's almost it's not quite a disc scratch, but it feels like it could be a section where it was scratching of this kind of vocal chop sample, and it's just a lot of fun, and I really didn't actually expect this much kind of funk from Tchami. Ghost sees Tchami go back to that kind of dark, atmospheric feel, and I really like that these songs are actually a lot longer than they would be, and I guess they are specifically because they're club mixes or meant to be played in a club, and I like that these songs are longer. Me, huge fan of songs that are long, and this one's 5 minutes. I particularly love female vocalists that go on top of a deep house track, and this track, Ghost, with Hannah in particular, is pretty much that. When Hannah has her vocals here, and Tchami's production is here in terms of range of either treble or bass, she's here, it's here, and it's just great. It mixes well and mashes well, and just feels like a great tug and pull from both sides. The final track, Proud, doesn't feel really right to me, if that makes sense. It's nothing's really happening in the song in terms of it wants to be one genre or another. It's kind of just there. It just feels like filler, and it's not hard enough to go to be a deep house club set. It's also not uplifting energy enough to be like a progressive house fun summer anthem. It's kind of just it's just there, and it's just uninteresting. I do really enjoy the quick string section at just past the halfway point of this track, and I think it adds a lot to the song and gives it its own unique flair, even though it doesn't feel like it really has a ton of flair. And it's pretty muted in terms of where it could be in the grand scheme of the mastering. I expected this to be a lot more mundane and a lot of what Born Again was in the track. I expected 4 tracks of Born Again. But this EP actually proved to be pretty interesting and diverse in what I was expecting, and maybe I just have my expectations too low for Tchami and what I've heard from him in the past, but I came in and actually was pleasantly surprised with, I guess, the variety. Even though I didn't love the variety sometimes, I didn't like the tracks, especially like the last one, I didn't really love it. Proud was good, but it wasn't the best thing, and it was weird to me, and yeah, I went over that a little bit before. But even though it was diverse, I didn't think it was overly fantastic or, yeah, just great in any sense. I thought it was just above average, and that is why this EP is going to score a 6. But thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Bowtied Media. If you want me to review anyone else, any other artist, let me know in the comments below. Leave a like if you liked. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And yeah, if you love quick reviews like this, just let me know. I will see you guys in another video.